The amount of different mortgage relief programs can be confusing to consumers. A new bill by Congresswoman Dina Titus aims to fix that. Titus's bill would force lenders to provide their customers with easy-to-understand information. Titus explained the bill to R.J. Jones.
And there are programs now for different people. You may qualify under Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae or some other restructuring program to see what you can do. And it usually involves two things: longer amount of time to pay it back or lower interest rates or some combination thereof. So again, you can have a clearer understanding of what you're facing, what you're going to have to pay, as opposed to have it buried somewhere on the back page in tiny print of 29 pieces of paper.
But presumably, you're aiming or targeting this measure at people who don't know their way through that system and may not know what those options even are.
That's true. That is right, because we heard so much about how we got into this fix to start with. That there were predatory lenders, there's no question about that. There were speculators who knew better but thought that they'd get out before the market dropped. And then there were a lot of people who were hard-working, trying to do the right thing, and just didn't understand what all the ramifications were of these new financial instruments that were totally unregulated. So now that won't happen again.
The bill passed the House and is moving on to the Senate. For more information about various efforts to assist homeowners, you can go to hud.gov/foreclosure. One of our viewers is finding out the hard way how tough times are affecting our neighborhoods. He bought a condo in a new development, only to have the developer go out of business. Do you still have vandals in here?
No, fortunately the vandalism has stopped.
After 2 years, a new owner is finally building the rest of the condos in Chris Adams' development, but the units are filled with renters.
What I bought into was a community of owners. What I am forced to live in is a community of renters. There's nothing wrong with renters, but renters behave differently than owners. It's like nobody ever washes a rental car.
To make matters worse, Chris can't even sell his condo because he doesn't have a clear title to the property. That's because when the original developer went out of business, not all the contractors were paid, and they've put liens on the property, including Chris's home.
I'm angry. I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated. This is not what I bought. I did business in good faith, and it seems as though doing business in good faith means nothing.
Chris does have title insurance, and his insurance company is trying to get the lien settled in court. But after 2 years, Chris turned to the state insurance division for help. The title company told the state, "I'm sorry we can't clear Mr. Adams' title until the current court case is precluded." And then they offered this solution. "We have also offered to issue a policy to a new buyer or lender endorsing over the effect of these liens." But without a clear title, Adams says no one is interested in the property. And now he got this letter from a state insurance investigator. Quote, "I've exhausted all the avenues I have to resolve this complaint. It's now being referred to another division for review. And at this point, any further action, if any, is confidential." We asked the state to explain.
Initially, when a complaint is filed, it goes through the Consumer Services section of the Division of Insurance. A Consumer Services specialist is assigned to it. If the matter can't be resolved there, it then gets referred to another section of the division, and at that point, that's where the confidentiality statute kicks in, NRS 679B.190.
But that explanation doesn't sit well with Adams.
It is amazing how little control and how little enforcement there seems to be for people who are making the biggest investment of their lives. It's appalling.
We do understand that people are frustrated by it. At a certain point in the process, and this varies agency by agency, they do become public where someone can learn what action was taken against a company, if any was done at all.
Because of the confidentiality, Adams has no idea what's happened to his complaint. The title company is still in court fighting the liens, but Adams doesn't know how much longer he can hold on to his house.
Unfortunately, the most common sense thing for me to do is to allow this place to go into foreclosure. I mean, clearly with the current housing market, I'm so underwater, I'm starting to grow gills. The smart thing to do, perhaps, is to simply let the place go into foreclosure. But, you know, there is a question of integrity. There is a question of trying to honor your word and honor your debts. I still think that means something. So I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to see what my options are. But truthfully, this is not a good situation, and it doesn't look like it's going to get better.
So unless the state holds a formal hearing, we won't know what happened in Chris's case. The only way that will change is if state legislators change the law. And we'll be following up on Chris's case. You go to our website for a link to a booklet with more information on title insurance, as well as a list of the prices companies are charging for it. The Wall Street Journal reports that Las Vegas is returning to a glitzier ad campaign to bring in more visitors. In March, visitor count was down about 6%. The new ad pokes fun at a TV reporter who's trying to keep the news about Vegas to herself. Here's the ad.
The water's nice, but no one is getting in. These empty cabanas are yet another troubling sign of the times. I'm Candace Newman, reporting from Las Vegas. Back to you, Tom.
And we're out.
Reading the want ads or going online are good ways to look for a job, but experts say there's also an advantage to pounding the pavement.
Don't rely entirely on the internet. Go out to some of the smaller places. Just like what we're looking for, you know, the smaller businesses with the now hiring in the windows. Those are the places where, you know, they're hiring not because their business is expanding and they're hiring a lot of people, but a lot of times they fired someone or someone quit that day and they need someone right away. So you can walk in there, and that's the best way to get a job right away. It's just pounding the pavement, going out, going in person to these places.
And if you're not working but you're collecting unemployment, here's a tip for the best time to contact the unemployment office.
We used to see a little bit of a slowdown on Wednesday and Thursday, and sometimes in the afternoon we'd see a little bit, but lately it's always busy. And you just keep trying until you get in. Monday still is busier by far, and you know, if one thing that people can remember is that whether you call in on Monday or you call in on Friday or Saturday, your claim is still effective that week. And we had, that is, now that I think about it, Saturday has not been that busy. You can get in on Saturday. It's been not light, but comparatively light. It's been much better. And so, you know, we're open from 9 until 1 on Saturdays.